I fell in love with a Bible verse that says, cast your anxieties onto me. And you just said that there's a power greater than you. And I've came to learn in my life that a man is going to fear regardless. So a man could either fear the Lord and begin wisdom, or he could fear everything else and not the Lord. So I chose to fear the Lord. And through that, I learned how to cope with my anxiety and depression through the scripture.
Except the word fear.
Okay. But can I ask you why?
Because fear is a negative connotation. And our thought process creates fear. If you have an idea and you want to do something, you should do it. If you can negate fear and just do it, you will move ahead in life and do great things. Fear doesn't move you ahead. Fear never moves you ahead. My feeling toward this power greater than us, regardless of what you call it and what religion you are in, is something to be respectful of, is something to be in awe of, is something to be aware of, but not something to be afraid of. And that's where religion kind of knocks me out. I'm not involved, even though I was born a Jew, I'm not involved in any organized religion. And in organized religion, you have these rules, and in life we have these rules. I think I want to be the best human being I could possibly be. I want, when somebody spends a little bit of time with me, and this is what I say to my kids, I want them to have an experience where maybe their life is just a little bit better because in some way the experience was positive in the time they spent with me. I don't want to be nice and charitable so I don't go to hell, so that I won't be punished. That's not the reason to be positive in my mind.
May I?
Go.
Okay, so I love your perspective. I would just love to share this point of view.
Okay.
Fear, I look at it in a very different way. I see the way you look at it, and I think that the devil uses the fear that way. For example, I think it's very wrong for a Christian or a Catholic or anybody in any denomination to be like, you're going to go to hell unless you blah, blah, blah. And then that fear, that's fake love. That's not real love. And so the definition—
I don't see any love in that.
There's no love in that.
Right.
There's zero love in that.
Right.
But the fear that is described to me full vividly in my heart is the same fear that I have of disappointing my parents. It's not because I'm scared they're going to beat me. It's because I don't want to hurt them.
Right.
So I'm scared as a teenager in high school to dabble in drugs because it's cool, because I don't want my mom to get a call one day because her son overdosed.
Right.
So I'm fearful of that. And through my stupidity in high school, I used fear to not disappoint my parents, to correctly walk in a path that they would be proud of. And through that, I made choices that I'm proud of till this day, because I'm glad I didn't get into that substance. I'm glad I didn't hang out with that crowd. I'm glad I didn't go do that cheating way to get ahead. And through that fear, I found wisdom on why I shouldn't already have done it.
Okay.
And that's the only fear I talk about. And that's the only fear that the Bible talks about. The whole relationship is like an invitation. He's not coming.
But you were saying fear of the Lord.
Fear of the Lord, the same way I have the fear of my father. I don't.
But I understand why you don't want to
disappoint them. That's fear. I'm terrified. I'd rather you, Howie, kill me than ever to stand before my parents and have them look at me with sorrow eyes of who I became. It would never happen. And that's the fear that I work on.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You're a good boy.